Hey YouTube, alright, I just bought an Ibanez GAR6-GAM. It is a classical guitar. Let me give you a little bit of background, not that you really care, but I'm self-taught for about 3.5 years, well, probably 3 years now. I started out with a guitar that I thought was a piece of crap. Watch any of my videos, you'll see all my reviews on my guitars. I ended up buying a 3/4 size Martin, which is really the only reason I was able to learn how to play guitar, because it was so much easier than playing a full-size guitar. After I messed around with the Martin for a while, I went out and I bought an Ibanez Electric just to see if it would be easier. And it was. It made things easier for me. Gave me the motivation when I try to do chords, and I thought that I just couldn't do it. Well, it was really the guitar and my technique, which I learned because playing an electric guitar is really easy. It's very easy to get your notes and your chords without a lot of stress and strain on your fingers and your hands. So I've been doing the acoustic guitar route for 3 years, and I just recently started finger picking. And somebody told me that well, a lot of the finger picking techniques that I'm trying to teach myself are partial classical. So I thought, let me go out and buy a classical guitar. And that's what I bought. I just took this out of the box. I haven't even played this thing. This, as I said, is an Ibanez. Is that an Ibanez? Yeah, an Ibanez GAR6-GAM. Now, let me show the whole thing to you, because I haven't even tuned it up, so I don't know what this is going to sound like. But, okay, that's the side. Let me show you the side just so you can see. This is the guitar. It's pretty cool. I think it looks really nice. Here's the crazy part about this guitar, is that I'm used to steel all the way. I play, strings I use are number 11s and number 12s. I started out with number 9s just so that I could learn how to play the guitar without killing my hand, and then I went to 10s, and I realized the 10s really sucked. I didn't like the sound of the 10s. Let me show you the guitar while I ramble for a little bit. I didn't like the sound of the 10s, so I went to the 11s, and the 11s are very easy for me to play now. I like the sound of the 12s for plucking, picking, whatever you want to call it. I can't really strum well with the 12s, but I can pick with them pretty well. So I wanted to buy a guitar, and this Ibanez that I've been talking about sells online for 129 bucks. Not a bad deal. It's a 7/8 size, as I said. And originally I put an order in for the 3/4 model that Ibanez sells, but then I saw this and I went, well, why not? Let me go buy the thing. It's only 129 bucks. If it's a piece of garbage, or I don't like classical, or I don't like using nylon strings, it's not that big of a loss. So 129 was cool. Then I looked at Guitar Center, and Guitar Center always has sales right before holidays. So Guitar Center had a sale. Anything over $75 would get, was that right? Anything, I think it was anything over $75 would get a $15 discount. Or 15% discount, that's probably what it was. Okay, so I get this guitar, and then I looked, and they were selling the same guitar. Instead of paying 129 bucks, you could buy this guitar as a factory return. It said it might have dents, it might have scratches, it might have some cosmetic damage, but I didn't really know if I wanted to spend money on a guitar like this anyway, because I might not like it. So I went from $129 down to, I think it was $79, and then I ended up getting the 15% discount. So this classical guitar, and I'm sure it's not going to be like anything really expensive, the $5,000 guitars, but this guitar cost me, shipping was free, and with tax, this thing cost me 79 bucks. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to, and I can't really play classical. Hold on. All right, hey, I'm back. You know, it took forever. It took like another 5 minutes to do. Okay. The number one string was way, way, way off. And I couldn't even, with hearing, I knew it was way off, but I couldn't really tell. All right, so the two electronic tuners got me where I needed to be. I thought this string was going to, I thought this number one string was going to snap. Like, wow, when is this thing going to get in tune? So you're going to hear me play this thing and for the first time. So we'll get my first impressions. And you're also going to be able to tell that I have no clue what I'm doing with classical. But the difference between a classical and a regular guitar, from what I'm seeing and told, is there's wider spacing here. First off, it's nylon strings compared to steel. And I love steel strings. That's why I'm not really sure how I'm going to like this. You also have wider spacing between the strings. I don't know how much wider it is, but I guess it's wider. And so I'm just going to do my simple routine that I do with my finger picking here. Let's see how it sounds. Wow, screwed that up. Screwed it up again. What am I hitting? Oh, this finger is hitting the second string. Wow, now that I've got this finger not hitting the second string, I've got this finger pressing on the fifth string when it shouldn't be. Okay, this is totally different than steel. All right, I don't know if I like it. Let me try some strumming. Whoa. Man, does that sound like crap. I'm happy that I spent only $70. Now it might be the, yeah, the strings are wire wound on the top three. Let me get a pick, see what that does. Wow. I am definitely not a nylon string player. So you're getting my first impressions. I'm just not. And I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't claim to know what I'm doing. Let me do a standard scale here. The advantage, you don't feel any pain on you don't have to press hard to make these play. Alright, that was an A minor pentatonic scale. You don't have to press hard at all. If you have no finger strength, classical guitar, nylon string guitar all the way. I have no good classical form. I know you're supposed to be playing like this, and I don't. I don't have classical form at all. Alright, that was like the A minor pentatonic scale again, the only thing I know, in a different position. And, alright, my opinions. Nylon strings, classical guitar, $70, very easy to play, very easy to No pressure on the fingers whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. So as far as that, it's a joy to play. I don't really like, I'm just not, something sounds totally gay there. Let me check the tuning one more time. C, A, and E, A, D, a little high on the G, B's okay. Wow, that's way off. That's that E that I had problems tuning, and it's already slipped. Oh, the babes are writing to me. They want to talk. They want to hear me play my classical guitar. All right, let's see if it sounds a little better now that I tuned it. Okay, for 70 bucks, yeah, it's a good deal. Bought it at Guitar Center, like I said. I bought a factory reject, factory return. And I don't really see, well, there's a little scuff mark over there that probably clean up. Yeah, that's cleaning up as I'm rubbing my finger. This looks like it's in very good condition. For $70, I bought a brand new guitar. And I don't see any damage on this thing at all. Maybe something's screwed up, but I don't see any damage. God, this just sounds like crap. Nylon strings suck. Alright, so that's my review of the guitar. What I'm going to do, I want you to hear this one more time. Now what I'm going to do, so you get a comparison, I'm going to go grab one of my guitars that has number 11 strings on it, and the next guitar, which is actually the same model, and it has 12 string, number 12 strings on there. So you can hear the difference between this nylon thing, which I think is gay, and the number 11 strings and the number 12. I'll be back, thanks to editing. All right, people, here is my, that's all I buy is Ibanez. I don't know why, but I just I bought an Ibanez off the internet by taking a chance, and I love it. So all my guitars now are Ibanez. This is a guitar. Is this the one? Yeah, there's a video I did on this. This is a guitar that I bought, and a week later I dropped it, and it slammed on the ground, and this piece broke off, literally broke off. And as you can see, I fixed it. I did a video on how to repair a broken neck. You can see the couple of, well, maybe let me zoom in a little closer. You can see the mark over there, maybe. That's the brake. The brake was over there, and you can see the front. It literally broke where those weird lines are, and I need to stain it a little better, but it really doesn't matter. I had a 1-week-old guitar, and I fixed it. And I ended up getting this thing for free in the end, so I'm not going to go into detail about that, but this has got number 11 strings on it. They're steel. And listen to the same thing that I just played. Let me do my A minor pentatonic, which is harder on this one. Alright, so that is the difference between the nylon strings and using steel number 11 strings. And you can hear when I'm strumming, listen to the difference. It's got some sound to it. It sounds so much better than that crappy nylon string. I don't know why people like nylon strings. Well, I just spent $70 to get a nylon string guitar. Now I'm going to go connect up with the number 12 strings, much heavier, and we'll see how that sounds. All right, like I said, same guitar, number 12 strings on here instead of number 11s. So I'm going to play this thing. The difference is, with at least what I'm noticing, with the thicker strings, they sound really good. There's something to grab it. There's something, you can hear it. There's something to grab with the nail and with the finger for plucking, for doing some classical type plucking and finger picking. Strumming, I'm going to do some strumming in a minute, and you're going to see, at least to me, it loses a lot of the high-pitched tones that the number 11 strings have, that the 12s, it's just more bassy. Let me do that same pattern again. Hear how rich and deep it is? Sounds awesome. So much better than that $70 I just spent on that Ibanez Classical. All right, now I'm going to do some strumming, and you'll hear the difference. Very rich. That's why I don't like using number 12 strings, except for beautiful. And then, like I said, the nails just dig. You can hear it. The nail grabs the string, and there's something. So what I'm doing now is I'm using number 12 strings for this picking stuff. Kind of the idea why I bought the classical nylon string guitar. I don't know how much use I'll get out of it, but for $70, it's a little toy to store in the corner and to mess around with at night. I'm going to just continue with this video and do all the guitars that I've got, just so you can get a difference in sound in comparison of strings and different guitars. All right, is this thing recording? Yeah, it's recording. All right, I don't think I said what that last guitar was, the number 11 strings and the number 12s. That was the Ibanez AC240. I think I've got a review on that. Here's the AEG20. I also have a review on this the first day that I bought the thing. I love this thing. I went into the store trying to find a guitar that was full size that I could play, because like I said, I learned on a 3/4 size. And I picked this guitar up, this Ibanez guitar, AEG20, and I must have tried about 40 guitars off the wall. When I picked this guitar up and put it in my hands, I went, this is the one I'm going to buy. And I bought this sucker. Love this thing. So let me do, this has got number 11 strings on it, but they're not Diodero or however you pronounce that. These are crappy strings. And you can hear what this thing sounds like. Whoa, doesn't sound too good when I can't play. Okay, now a little bit of strumming. Little tinny. That's because I'm playing with my nail and not using a pick. Let's use a pick just so you can hear the difference. Alright, you can hear the difference though between the guitar that I did with the number 11s and then the last one I did, the very heavy bass of the 12s. You don't get these high-pitched sounds that we're getting now with the 11. So that's why I like using number 11s for any strumming. I do like it for picking too. But I love that powerful bass sound, the powerful bass of having number 12 strings on there and the thickness to grab with my nail. Okay, I'm going to go to the next guitar. Be back soon. Okay, this is my, what the heck is this? This is my Martin, my mini Martin. I love this sucker, the LX1. Look at this, 3/4 size. Yeah, like I said, I'll show you my first guitar in a minute. You can see how worn out that fretboard is from playing, all dirty. When I first started playing guitar, I started out with a Yamaha. It was a piece of crap. I bought it at Costco. It was just too big, too awkward, and I couldn't play. I was very uncomfortable with it. And I almost gave up, and then I went out and went online, saw this LX1, and I thought I'd rather have a Martin instead of, who's that other company? I can't remember. Martin and Taylor. Instead of buying the Mini Taylor, I bought the Mini Martin, or whatever the hell it is. The little Martin LX1, and because of that, I stuck with guitar, and I kept on playing. I didn't even tune this thing. Let me just show you the difference, though. This has got number 11 strings. Listen to the beauty of that. I mean, it's not as powerful as the other guitars, but I just love this thing. This, if I had a choice, if I was the god of guitar learning, this is what I would give to everybody as their first guitar. Just incredible. I love this thing. Listen to the sound. It's a little different, just a slight amount in size. Let's use the pick. Okay, so that is the LX1 Martin, 3/4 size with a number 11 strings. I think it sounds really good. Sometimes when I listen to the other guitar with the 11s or the 12s on there, I'm like, well, okay, so maybe the small guitar doesn't boost out a lot of sound, but I still love it. It's a lot of fun. And on to the next one. Okay, what do we have here? We've got another Ibanez. This was the electric guitar I bought. I thought, come on. How expensive can these things be? I'll buy it. And I messed around with it. I probably haven't really played it that much. The strings are all starting to tarnish, and I don't really play it a lot, but it's still fun. I'm definitely not a lead guitar player, so easy to play these things. Requires no effort at all. Oop, getting another message on the cell over there. You can't really finger pick with these things. But the cool thing about buying the electric is every time I got discouraged on the acoustic, I would pick this thing up and I'd go, oh, I can do the F chord. I can do bars. It's not me, it's not my playing, it's the guitar and the fact that I don't have finger strength or technique, which you don't really need as much of on an electric. Let me try to do that A minor pentatonic that I did before. I'll probably screw it up. It's a lot different spacing on here. Alright, so that's the electric guitar. And what do I have? I've got two more. Yeah, this was an Ibanez. I don't even know what the model is, but if you've gotten this far in the video, then you're probably bored out of your mind, and I appreciate you listening. Two more to go. Okay, I'm back. What do we have here? The very first guitar that I ever played. Bought this at Costco. I was at work. Two guys brought in their guitars. I listened to one play classical, the others do some strumming. I was really impressed. And I thought, I want to learn. And I went down to Costco that day and bought this guitar. It was in a starter package. Very awkward for me. It's just too big, too thick. I can play it now. I appreciate it a little bit more now. But it was a piece of garbage. Finally, after about 1.5 years of playing, I took it to a guitar shop. He did a setup on it and said the thing was maxed out. The truss rod adjustment was maxed out after he worked on it. And it was as good as it was going to be. But this is what got me started into playing and almost made me stop. Let me do a little... This has got number 12 strings on it also, because I thought, I'll use this to build up the fingers. Let me do some picking. Oh, got some dirt on the strings. I couldn't even do this when I first got this thing. So that's my Yamaha 310P. And after buying this guitar, it probably soured me from ever wanting to buy a Yamaha again. Maybe they're good. Listen to that, sounds really good. Whoops. Yeah, it's probably not in tune. It's okay. I keep it around as my first guitar. I guess I've got a collection, but every time I buy another one, I say that's it. I'm not going to buy more, and then I buy more. But back to the last one in a second. Here we go. All right, hey, I'm back for the last one. What did I say? I wasn't going to buy a Yamaha. I bought a Guitalele. Bought this thing. It's tiny. It's considered a 1/8 scale guitar. Now let me explain it. Guitalele, guitar, gut, and ukulele. This is a ukulele that has 6 strings instead of 4 strings. It is tuned to the 5th fret of a guitar. So if you were playing a guitar and you had your capo on the 5th fret over there, and you played the guitar, you'd have a higher pitched notes when you played. Well, that's how this thing is tuned in standard. You can hear how much higher pitched it is. And I bought this thing thinking, all right, I can lay on the sofa and mess around with it. It might be a lot of fun. What I found out later was, look at this. My fingers aren't that big, but they're not that small, but they're not big. And there's not even enough room to bar a chord in there. So I can bar the F as I go up further, F sharp, G. I'm already out. You can, let me see. You can see the little finger. There's no room. There's no room. And as I go up further, you can't bar. So if you think you're going to bar with this thing, which I thought I was, you're wrong. Very limited. And I was really disappointed. Then I watched some videos on YouTube and I went, wow, people who know how to play classical or who know how to do lead or individual notes, they can really zip along on this thing. And I'm trying to teach myself that now, but I'm not really good at it. Let me do some basic strumming with the fingers. Same pattern I've done with all of them. And what's really cool is I found out, even though everybody says you cannot take this out of the tuning that it's in, I guess 5 steps up or whatever they call it, 5, I don't know, the 5th fret tuning of the guitar, up 5, what do they call that? Who knows? I have no idea. I don't remember what the term is. They say that you cannot tune it to a standard guitar, but I've got some info on what strings to use, and I'm going to buy those strings and put them on here and see if it does work. Supposedly the tension will be right and I'll be able to play this in standard tuning for guitar instead of standard for uke. So here's my little uke. As I said, it's an 8th size guitar, and I started messing with it, and what's really cool, because I've got smaller fingers, is look at this. Let me get the fingers up here. The fingers fit. They're perfectly spaced for this, which they're not on a regular guitar. So I thought, hey, this is kind of cool. Let me use this for practice. And that's what I do now. Look at this. I do this for my, use this for my finger exercises. Awesome, isn't that? It's pretty cool. Now I'll do a little, and so the people who know how to do lead, who know how to go up and down the fretboard, their fingers are able to go into, are able to fit in here. And I gave this guitar to somebody who plays lead, and it was amazing what he did with this gut. So let me just, you saw I was able to do my little scales. Let me do my A minor pentatonic that I couldn't do well with the other guitars. Spacing's totally off here. Plus I don't have a strap to hold this thing, so it's kind of awkward. I'm trying to position it for the camera. It's a lot of fun. It's a $99 toy, like all this other stuff that I showed. Well, that's what I love. I love the high-pitched sound, and that, to me, that sounds really pretty. And that's what I was hoping for with the $70 guitar that I just bought and did the review on. And this little thing sounds a lot better than that, so I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the high-pitched sound of the strings, or maybe the strings that came with that thing are junk, or maybe there's a reason I got it for 70 bucks. So this is my cute little toy, and I'll be back one last time. And back finally with the original what was this? GAR6GAM classical guitar. You've heard all the other guitars, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop this, I'm going to put the capo on there on the 5th fret, and just let's see what if it makes it sound like the Goot. Because the Goot, as I said, sounded a lot better. Well, let's see what this sounds like. Whoa, that's a little hard to get my fingers in there to play. Sounds almost like the Goot. It's very hard to get my hand in here with this capo here. Spacing's totally different. The wide spacing of the guitar strings. Let's take this capo off and go back to the original for why I bought this thing. It sounds like garbage. I just don't like the sound of it. Somebody said the stock strings on here are crap. Listen to that. Ugh. What was one of the exercises I was doing? Let's see, G. Oh, that sounds pretty. Let's try this. Okay, so for $70, I'm happy with it. If you're into classical or you like nylon strings, I would say hell of a deal for a factory return at $70, even at $129 full price. Not a bad deal if you like nylon. I don't really like nylon, as I found out again. I'll put some new strings on here, figure out how to do this thing, and make it look pretty like they did over there. And maybe I'll do another review. But as for me, I'm definitely a steel guitar player. Don't like lead, like finger picking. As I said, number 12 strings for plucking and finger style, and number 11s for strumming and finger style. And that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed my reviews, and happy playing, everybody.